Hey, everybody. I'm Jeremy Beaver, CEO and founder of Listen Vision, and you are tuned in to another edition of District Spotlight. And oh man, am I excited for today's episode. Why? Because, you'll get the backstory in a little bit, but the one and only Shaquita Lee is with me. Hey, Shaquita.
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good.
Before we get to this interview, I got to tell everybody my name is Shaquita.
Shaquita Lee. Oh my God. I have the wrong guest. No, I'm just kidding. You are so sweet for being here with us because all of the things that you do means that you are super, super busy.
Busy as hell. And this month we're really busy because it's my birthday month and I'm celebrating the whole month.
Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
So a lot of people don't know that you can actually go to the White House and be a drag queen performer, and that there was only one person in the history of mankind that has ever, as a drag queen, gone to the White House and performed. Would you happen to know who that is?
It's Shaquita Lee. It's me.
How did that come about?
It's a transgender woman here in D.C. named Dolores. She always heard about me doing different things for the community, and I do a lot for Casa Ruby, which Casa Ruby is the LBGT youth center located right up the street from you. And I do a lot for them of raising money and letting people know about that organization. So she felt the need that it was a transgender briefing that was being held at the White House. And because I have done so much for the community, and I'm not transgender, I'm a boy in a dress. And she said I felt the need that you should be on the show as well. And so I didn't perform for the actual briefing, I performed for the reception, which was right after the briefing. They had transgender women performing for the briefing, but I was the only drag queen to perform for the reception.
To ascend to that level is, in my opinion, unreal for many of the LGBTQ community who have felt disenfranchised and maybe even felt like that wasn't even attainable. So my first and the question I've been wanting to ask you for years, and I'll get to why I immediately, I didn't recognize you when we first met,
right?
Because you weren't in drag. But when I found out who I was speaking with, my heart sank because, let me just tell you, for, 100 years, I lived on 17th and Q, the corner of 17th and Q, here in DuPont Circle.
Right.
And if anybody knows anything, Shaquita has been the centerpiece of just the nightlife scene in general. Not just the gay and queer scene, but the straight scene too. And we'll get into that. Mm-hmm. But tell me, and here's the question that I've been wanting to know for all these years. What first inspired you to want to dress in drag and do this and take on this persona?
Well, did nothing really inspire me to do it. I used to play for a gay softball league here in Washington, D.C., and I used to play for a team called JR Gamecocks. And at the end of the season, they have like a Gay World Series here in D.C., and each one member of the team has to participate in a camp drag pageant, which was called the Miss Magic pageant. And I was the last person on the team to join, so they was like, Shaquita, it's your turn, you got to do it. And I used to work for the Miss USA, Miss Teen USA pageant circuit, the Real Girls. And I worked with them for 5 or 6 years, so I knew all about pageantry. And so it was supposed to have been a pageant where you dress up, it was a man in drag, but you just put like a lipstick and a wig and a dress, and most of the guys still have beard, they have hair on their chest and all that stuff like that. Must have been fun. So I said if I was going to do it, I wasn't going to dress up looking crazy in front of all these white people. So I had a friend to dress me up in drag and make my clothes and everything. And I went and performed. I sang live. I did Your Love Is My Love by Whitney Houston. I had 3 background singers. And I won the contest. And I'm like, you can get this much money putting on a dress and heels for 4 or 5 minutes? Hell, 20 years later, I'm still doing
it. And I got to say, you're incredible.
Well,
you're incredible at it. And so our interns did a lot of research, and there's tons of awesome videos and clips and everything. But, one of the things that I think that you're best, one of the personalities you take on best is Tina Turner.
That's my idol.
Tell me about why, and just so you know, out of all of the singers in the world, Nina Simone is my number one. Tina Turner's my number 2, and what she represented, especially because for me, growing up in the late 70s and 80s, you know, empowerment, powerful, beautiful. What does Tina Turner mean to you? And Jay, get that Tina Turner video ready to go. Tina Turner at Howard Theater.
Tina Turner to me shows a woman of strength and power, and the struggle that she went through. And not necessarily that I went through that type of struggle, nothing like that. But the reason I stumbled upon the character was this transgender girl named LaWanda Jackson from New Orleans. I did a pageant in Atlanta, and it was one of the second pageants I ever did in my drag career. And so everybody there was doing illusions. She did the illusion of Diana Ross and Lionel Richie, Endless Love. And so we was backstage talking, and she was like, she said, so what kind of character you do in drag? I said, well, I don't really do a character in drag. I said, you know, I just started doing drag. I said, putting on a dress and a wig, and I look beautiful, so you know, that's all I do. And she says, you know, but everybody needs a drag persona, someone they want to follow or imitate and stuff like that. And she said, you look like Tina Turner. And I was like, really? And she's like, yeah. She said, study Tina Turner. And so I studied it. I looked at the videos, and I already liked her as a person in the first place. And then studied Proud Mary and heard the way she moved and the way she acted and stuff like that. And so I got it down pat, and so that's how it came about.
You got that ready to? Yep. So without further ado, check out Shaquita Lee as Tina Turner.
There's only one diva that could have pulled this night off tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the icon herself, Miss Tina Turner!
Unreal. We're back. We're back. Jeremy Beaver here. District Spotlight. We're with the one and only, the incredible Shaquita Lee, and that was not only an incredible performance, not only incredible makeup, but the run of the show is so incredibly well produced. How long did it take you to put that all together?
A few weeks.
That's it?
Because at the time at the Howard, we was doing shows like every other month, every 2 months. So we just mainly rehearsed with the dancers and stuff like that. But as far as putting the show together, it don't take them but a couple of days. Because the people that work for me, they've been working with me for like steady for 5 years now. The crew that I have now. But most of the drag queens that I hire that do impersonations already know their stuff, so they really don't need rehearsal for it unless I add dancers to their group.
What about rehearsing all of, how did you get down? I mean, to me, you just embodied Tina, and your movements were so, I couldn't distinguish between you and the real thing. How did you prepare for that? Did you watch video endlessly? I mean,
yes, watch videos, watch the movie, just look at her concerts that she do, her live concerts, and embody what she does at those concerts. Try to replicate that costume that she wore for the concert, and so that's how I take it.
Have you ever done any other personalities?
Well, I do Dinah Ross. I do Mary J. Those are my other two strong points, but I have done other characters as far as Rihanna. And
I saw the Rihanna one. So, one of the things that I think everybody knows about you is this Nelly's Drag Brunch.
yes,
How long has that been going on?
it's been going on for 9 years. Nelly's been open for 10. And I first started out at Nelly's, I was doing Drag Bingo, which was a Tuesday night thing, and it was very successful, very popular. It was so popular that you couldn't even get in the door. People was waiting outside in line just to get inside for the bingo, because that's how myself and another drag queen, Tyree Amon, we used to carry more or less of like comedy drag and into, the drag bingo. We gave away nice appliances for the prizes and stuff like that. So
You gave
people
away
came.
appliances at a brunch?
No, it was at bingo.
Oh, okay.
And so I had told the owner, I said, I used to host a drag brunch at the WLVS, which used to be on 15th and U Street. And so they closed down. And so I needed somewhere else to take the brunch too. And I worked at Perry's in Adams Morgan. So I wanted to do brunch at Nelly's. And they was like, oh, okay, whatever. So when it first started off, it was so-so. But now it's like a month in advance to get a ticket to get in.
And that's what I find so interesting, and being from New York City myself and having, grown up in the 80s, where to me, I would walk down the street and see drag queens left and right. I don't know, I've seen actually less today than I did back growing up in the 80s in New York. And I always kind of thought to myself, there's a dichotomy with drag queens that transcends, in my opinion. There's the beauty, and there's the makeup, and there's the clothes, and there's everything that takes. But then there's this personality. And to me, you're larger than life, and you have this following. How does that come about? How does one even, from like a business or even entrepreneurial standpoint, I mean, the show's called District Spotlight. How did you cultivate that?
Wow. It's amazing that the people who do come and support what we do, and it's not even the gay community. My biggest following is heterosexual women.
I see.
And we have a large following from Baltimore, which the women come down on bus loads, car loads, and to come to our brunch.
Yeah.
And just the way it's more accepted nowadays, because everybody knows about RuPaul's Drag Race, and seeing RuPaul's Drag Race, they feel like, now it's she opened the door for everyone to understand. So it's a household thing where kids are watching the show, and people are starting, back in the day, it was hard for a drag queen or a transgender woman to walk down the street or even to go out in public. And now it's like people look at it, don't even pay it no mind no more.
Mm-hmm.
So
Do you think RuPaul had a lot to do with that?
She had part of what to do with it, because a lot of other women who is not known, or people don't know them because they're not in the limelight, who paved the way for all of us, made it known for everything. RuPaul just had a platform to show everyone, and she had that platform to be on national television.
Yeah.
So,
And back again in the 80s, just started out with music.
yes. And mostly underground, because when I first started out, I wouldn't walk out my front door in drag. I would go to the club and get in drag. When I finished performing, I'd take off the drag and go back home. So everyone in my neighborhood didn't even know I did a
And
did a
that's
drag
here
queen.
in D.C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On First and Q Street. I was there for 18 years.
Jay, do we have that video? I want to show the folks, because I'm just so enamored with so many aspects actually of being a drag queen, and not just from the beauty side, but also from the business side. Because I think that there's this social, this cultural, this entrepreneurial, pursuit that goes on. This is what a totally lit, packed Nelly's drag brunch. We should have a video there from Nelly's drag brunch. You got it? Okay, cool. Check this out. This is when is this? Just so if folks want a ticket.
It's Nelly Drags Brunch every Saturday and Sunday morning, 10:30 and 1 o'clock. You go to eventbrite.com, or you can go to nellysportsbar.com and click on this the flyer.
And this thing is lit. Would you
Yes.
just tell me how long does it take? How long will
It's like a month in advance. to
month
get
in
tickets.
advance? Go hit this. Let's see what this is all about.
We do over about 425 people a weekend.
Whew. Run it. Oh my goodness. Wow. That looks like a little bit more than just a brunch.
It's a good time. It's a good time.
It looks like, so if I go to a Nelly's drag brunch, what can I expect?
You expect we're the only restaurant in the DMV area that have drag queens for your servers. And we are hands-on with the guests as soon as they walk through the front door until the time they leave. They eat brunch. It's all-you-can-eat buffet. Southern-style cuisine. You have your regular breakfast food, but we also have ribs and pastas and salads and all that good stuff. And
I'm really starving. Don't start with all that.
and then we do a 90-minute show, and then that's it.
How did you, was that your concept?
Yes.
Again, with the business, where did that come from? What made you think of it? It's really smart. Oh, thanks, Jay. That's awesome, dude.
Well, there's a lot of drag brunches in the city. It's like over 5 different drag brunches in the city, but we're the only brunch that we actually wait on the tables. All the other brunches, when people go to see them, they only see the entertainers when they're performing. They don't see them the other time.
It's just, this city has really become a very special place in terms of nightlife. I don't know if you've heard, but they're actually considering creating a mayor of nightlife here in Washington, D.C.
Oh, really?
And I was thinking, if there was a mayor of nightlife, you know who gets my vote?
Who gets your vote?
Shaquita Lee.
Okay, well, y'all vote for me then.
Right? I don't know. Can we put in nominations? I don't know how that works, but anyways, you get my vote. So, there's been many folks who have, been incredibly successful, like you have, doing this type of thing, and you interviewed one of them. You interviewed the winner, from season 9 of RuPaul's Drag Race. And what do you think about that platform in terms of, its exposure? What does that type of exposure do for the LGBT community and the drag community?
The exposure of RuPaul's Drag Race?
Yeah.
Well, it does a lot because it has opened the doors for so many drag performers that would never have that chance to do it on their own. And by being a part of that show, I auditioned for the show actually 3 times when it first started out, the first, second, and third season. I auditioned and I didn't make it. So that's when I took upon myself to go out and branch out on my own and make a name for myself. since I couldn't get that platform. And they're going on now. This is the 10th season, and no one from DC has ever been on the season.
What?
No one. And everybody thinks that Tatiana, but Tatiana is from Virginia when she got on the show.
Well, that seems to be a problem.
But for District of Columbia, no drag queen has ever been on the show.
We're going to have to start a petition. We're gonna.
They always get drag queens from New York and California, and then there's always one from Puerto Rico, and then they do state of Washington, Georgia, and Texas, but no one has never been from DC, the nation's capital.
Okay, so can we start we got to start a hashtag. Okay, and the hashtag is we need DC. Hashtag we need DC. And you can start tweeting to, I suspect, at RuPaul. Without even looking, something tells me that RuPaul's Twitter is simply at RuPaul. Am I wrong?
You're right.
Am I right? Start tweeting and tell him Shaquita Lee sent you. Right?
Right.
We're going to do this.
Okay.
All right. Look at, if you didn't know I was crazy, I'm crazy. So let's take a look at the winner from season 9. Sasha Velour.
Mm-hmm.
You did a nice interview with her. Can you have that Sasha Velour RPDR season 9 winner? Sasha Velour. Here we go. Check this out. This is Shaquita has many different roles, and host, television host, brunch host, entertainer, performer, entrepreneur.
Yes, run my own company, Van Hook Productions.
Yeah, I saw that tagged on a lot of these. Before we run that excuse me, we're blowing up here. When we come back from this clip, I want to hear about your production company. Is that okay?
That's fine.
All right, so stay tuned. Check out this interview with Sasha Velour.
Are you ready for a drag show? Well, then get your ass down to Town Dance Boutique here in DC.
Hi guys, this is Spill the Tea with Shaquita Lee, and who do we have here? The one and only winner of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 9, the one and only Miss Sasha Velour.
Hi there.
Well, girl, you're here at Town Dance Boutique in Washington, D.C. This is your first stop after being crowned.
It is. It's not been 24 hours since I got
Oh my God,
crown.
it's not even 24 hours. How does it feel?
It feels great. I've been waiting for this for a long time, and it's been my dream for many years. I'm so glad I made it happen.
Well, DC, we always get the reigning queens before they hit the road.
Yes, you do.
Yes, we always get them, and somehow we always know. Can't get on the fucking season, but we always know who wins and how to schedule and book them here at Town Dance Boutique. Well, she's here tonight, and she's going to be performing, and she's also doing a meet and greet. So, what do you look forward to as far as your career now? As it, when you first started doing drag, you do a local and stuff. But now you get a chance to see the world for free. How does that feel?
Yes. It feels fabulous. I'm going to make sure that I bring a lot of my queens and kings back from home with me into the spotlight, because I want the world to get to know the kind of drag that I love and adore. I want to get to meet queens like you around the country. That's the best part for me.
Oh, see, I even got my glasses on to match this bitch. Mine don't cost as much as hers. I got these from that soul Try Drag Queen Banaga. So we're all bald head bitches here at town tonight, and we're gonna celebrate with this whole
Everyone's
here.
snatching their wigs in my honor, and we're gonna all make some paper crowns and crown ourselves.
Oh, I gotta go back here and make a fucking crown now,
It's
bitch?
arts and crafts project. Surprise!
Okay. Ooh.
Done. That's the look. That's the look.
So everybody who always does Drag Race has a video, has a song, has a movie, has comedy. What is gonna be your stick?
I have a magazine. I want to be like the Anna Wintour of drag. I have an art and fashion magazine all about drag.
Oh my God, that should be fabulous. Like a coffee table book?
It's like a coffee table book. It's coming out in next week on July 5th.
Already, bitch? You already took the pictures?
Ready.
This
It's
bitch already
ready.
knew
It's
she
done.
had won the damn Drag Race, bitch.
Well, even if I hadn't, I was going to put those other bitches to shame.
Okay, I know that's right. So what kind of fashions are we going to look forward to? Is this something that you created yourself, or is vintage, or what is it going to be about?
It's all different kinds of things, and as strange and out of the box as possible.
I really don't know this bitch that well, but I was on Twitter last night, and I was going through, and I looked, and I didn't know we was friends on Twitter. Go figure. And then I seen all these fashion photos that you have already taken, so stuff like that's going to be in your magazine.
Mm-hmm. And lots of other queens. It's not just about me. It's not like Oprah magazine where I'm always on the cover. It's featuring a wide range of queens and kings from from all over the country.
So are you excited about your overseas tour, or are you already went on overseas already?
I went to London and Dublin, and that was it. Just 2 days, and I get to go to England and to Australia coming up, to Peru. I can't wait. I barely get to travel. So
Well, guys,
like
this is
very
Spill the
easy
Tea
for
with
me.
Shaquita Lee, and I'm not going to keep this bitch asking her too many questions because I know she has to get ready for her meet and greet tonight. But there you have it, firsthand with Spill the Tea with Shaquita Lee. Ooh.
Ooh. Are you ready for it?
That's you were dying laughing with that interview. I just thought that's great because it just shows, all your different sides. You have so many different sides, so many different talents. Tell them about your production company.
Well, my production company is Van Hook Productions, and we based on female and male illusions. Everyone who works for me or does the shows that I do, you have to have an illusion to be a part of my production. That's what makes me different from other drag shows or other drag performances and stuff because there's all different types of drag, and people can put on all types and types of drag shows, but mine is based on illusion characters because I always wanted to have something here in DC like Vegas. They have like the drag show they have in Vegas or Atlantic City. I want to always have one here in DC because this is the nation's capital. We have a lot of tourists that come here, and a lot of people like to see a good show. And so that's what my company is based on. And then it's also based on with my reality show that I direct as well, Drag City DC.
Yeah.
It's about 5 drag queens, 1 transgender, 1 gay male lead, and we talk about the ins and outs of our lives and what we do to give back to the community, one show at a time.
And so what gave you the idea? Because I think that the title is great. I watched a few episodes after we talk about it. There's the Van Hook Productions. After we talk about the Drag City, we're gonna show. But what gave you the inspiration to put that type of show together? Because it really played to me like something that could be nationally syndicated.
What made me put it together was all these different reality shows was coming out, and I was looking at the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and so I was got some ideas and stuff from that, and then we did the reality show R&B Divas Atlanta season 1. And so by doing that, I was like, oh, that's all it is. They how they do it and how they set it up. And I thought it was mostly reality TV, but it's more or less of they telling you what to do, and then you play upon it.
Right.
They'll tell one person that this person said this about you, and that person said that about you to make you react or comment on. So I found out that's how you put a reality show together. But then I didn't like the part of how they was doing that, so I wanted to do something different. So I thought about would it be great that a bunch of drag queens go and help different, because everybody who has fundraisers or doing some type of campaign and stuff like that, they want something fun or exciting or different for their fundraiser. And so I was like, well, let's start doing drag. And so we do drag performances for different people who raising money for HIV and AIDS, sickle cell, epilepsy, leukemia, cancer. And we just go as drag queens to help raise money for that organization. And so for cancer, we helped raise over $42,000 for lymphoma and leukemia cancer. We dressed up 9 redneck white men and towards Annapolis, a small town in Annapolis, and they raised $42,000.
I like that they were willing.
Yeah, the wives made them do it.
Yeah, good.
But it was fun night.
Yeah.
The wives dressed them, and then we helped do the makeup and everything like that. And then this last Saturday, we helped raise a lot of money for HIV and AIDS. We performed at the AIDS Walk. We did a post show for them.
I just love it because I really think that it's so dynamic. It's so entertaining. If I owned a restaurant, if I owned a club, if I owned any sort of establishment, I would want to try to figure out how to involve you. So if there's restaurant owners, there's club owners watching right now. If they wanted to put together a weekly event and involve you and your production company, how could they get at you?
Well, you can reach me on our website. That's www.adragsalutetothedivas.com, or we're on Facebook, Salute to Divas, or 202-210-6727. Anybody got a restaurant? I'm looking for some restaurants to take in, have night shows.
Well, you heard it here first. If you enjoy increased sales, restaurant owner, club owner, business owner, I suggest you contact Shaquita Lee, because every event I see you do, whether it's the Tina Turner at Howard Theater, whether it's the drag brunch, they're not just sold out. That's like an understatement. they're sold out like weeks and months in advance. And I always just find it compelling, what type of things people find entertaining, interesting, psychologically intriguing. The drag queen is on a pedestal. I think.
And it's very surprising to us as well that so many people love what we do, and they get life off of coming and stuff like that. Just like the women from Baltimore. Our brunch starts at 10:30. They're there at 10 o'clock or 9:30, so they have to get up by 7, 8 o'clock to leave Baltimore to get to DC. And them to be, half of them is drunk half the time they get here because they're on party buses. But for them to actually get up that early in the morning to come to see a man in a dress up and entertain them, and they felt that they are entertained, stuff like that is amazing.
They love it. I'm telling you. What do you think it is? What do you think psychologically it is that they just really, really love?
For some people, like we had this one guest, she said, that's the closest I would ever probably get to Tina Turner since she don't perform no more. And we have one girl who imitates Beyonce, Riley Knox, and she looks like her. And so people, they take pictures and stuff like that with her and stuff like that. But they feel like that's the closest they're gonna ever get to Beyonce. And the illusions that we put on, we try to nail them dead on, so people get that feeling that, oh my God, I went to this thing and I took a picture with Tina Turner, I took a picture with Beyonce, I took a picture with Jill Scott, Marvin Gaye.
Yeah, I gotta send my wife and her sisters. My wife has 6 sisters.
Oh wow.
Oh God, they would turn up.
Okay.
Oh man. And did I say they're Asian? Oh man. Let's take a look at this show, because I think this show, Andy Cohen, if you're watching, what is Bravo? He's the president of Bravo. Andy Cohen, if you're watching, I'm sure Shaquita would love to talk to you about it.
I had a chance to meet Andy Cohen. Very shady, but I had a chance to meet him.
Well, listen, I'm not.
Him, Andy Cohen, and what's his boy's homeboy name? They get to do the New Year's show together.
Andy Dick?
No.
Anderson Cooper?
Anderson Cooper. They came to our drag show.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Together?
Together. They
really?
They was here in DC where they did that reunion down at Warner Theater or something like that. And so after that, they came to our show. And
really?
Anderson Cooper, he didn't want nobody to know he was there. He was all in shades and stuff like that. But the host, Lena Lett, she bought Andy.
Are you trying to break news right now? Is this some tea? Should we be?
No, it ain't no tea.
Do people know about this?
Yeah, people know about it.
Are they together?
No, they wasn't together. Not as a couple, no.
I'm just, hey, we're breaking gossip and news all the time.
But they did come to Town Dance Boutique for our drag show. So they did come to that.
Man.
With their entourage.
Okay. With their entourage.
Yes.
Let's take a look at this, because I think, Andy, if you're watching, and I know you are, Andy Cohen, Drag City Show, starring Shaquita Lee. And just real quickly, who shoots and edits and produces this whole thing?
I do myself.
Man, what don't you do?
Because I got tired of spending money. When I need flyers done, I had to spend $400 or $500 for this. I had to spend $300 or $400 for that. So I just bought all the cameras, all the equipment myself. It's not professionally done, but it's done well enough for me to enjoy and satisfy and be happy with it. And I got a chance to air it on DC TV, Access TV.
And super entertaining. Run it, Drag City Show.
I knew I was transgender when I was 5 years old.
Hey everybody, Jeremy Beaver, CEO and founder of Listen Vision, District Spotlight every Friday at 5, and we're with the one and only Shaquita Lee. Thanks again for staying with me.
No problem.
Thanks for
for
not
having me.
leaving and running off the show or something. I was bragging, to everybody that, have the most, famous and successful drag queen here in the DMV, potentially in the world, in the universe, in the galaxy. Because why? You are the first. Only? I don't know about only, but you're definitely the first. Are you the only person to ever, drag queen to ever perform at the White House?
As far as our knowledge, I am.
I mean,
But as far as the knowledge,
Okay, so here, before we run out of time, we gotta obviously run this because I find it incredible. Shaquita performed actually at the White House, and forget about being a drag queen at the White House. Nobody performs. Period. I mean, what is it? I can count on one hand.
to let everybody know clear, it's under the Obama administration.
Right.
It wasn't under the Trump administration.
First of all, it would be a cold day in hell if that. I mean, that would really be a page turner.
Yes.
We wouldn't be talking about Russia as much if that happened. You're hilarious. No, of course that's not under the Trump administration. Anyways, roll this performance. Shaquita Lee, DMV's #1 drag queen, performing at the White House.
Now, are you ready?
Yeah!
For Shaquita Lee?
Yeah!
Make some noise! DC royalty!
There's just one light. Is it weak now? Yes. Easy. We always do it. Yes. Left. We're going to take the beginning of this song and do it easy. But then we're going to do the finish. Left. Here we do. On me. And we rolling on the river. Listen to this here. Working for the keep on turning, keep on turning, and we're rolling.
Wow. Did you ever dream that was possible?
no, I didn't.
Did you ever think that you'd be in the White House in any shape or form?
Well, I thought I would be in the White House as Shaquita Lee for something that was going on, but I didn't know I was going to actually be there to perform.
How did that make you feel?
It was a proud moment, and being something a part of history and doing what I do, and being able to represent the LGBT community in that form, it was great. It was amazing.
So I think, for me, that's one of many reasons why we wanted to have you on. For inspirational reasons. Whether you're inspiring people to live their dream and live comfortably in their skin, being who they are, the more true you are, I think, to yourself, the more it comes through even in things like business, right? Even in things like community and social interactions, which is why you have this following. I think people feel your uniqueness and your integrity, and so they want to be a part of that.
Right.
What do you think it takes? Well, first of all, what does it take literally to I mean, get into drag? I was so shocked. I was thinking it would take hours. You said now you have it down to how many minutes?
I can used to get dressed and done up in 15, 20 minutes.
I find
when I
that-
first started out, it took anywhere from an hour to 2 hours. But now I know my face. I know what I want to
Yeah.
put on and what I want to wear and stuff like that. So now it only takes like 15, 20 minutes.
And how long have you been doing this? How many years?
Been 20 years.
20 years. So 20 years ago, YouTube didn't exist.
No.
So, shocker. So, how did you learn how to do your makeup, and how did you learn how to do all
I
of
learned
it?
through a lot of different people by watching videos. Friends of mine who's makeup artists, look for them. People who've been in the drag world, because back in the day, I used to be scared of drag queens when I first, came out into it and everything, and just because the drag queens back in the 80s didn't look like the drag queens now.
Okay.
And-
Why? Because I'm used to the drag queens of the 80s.
They was ratchet.
Oh, man.
The makeup was
man.
bad. People just didn't know about technique or anything about makeup back then.
Yeah, it's gotten more
it's got-
refined.
yes.
Almost an art.
Yes.
Well, not almost.
It is an art. Yeah.
And there's a lot of pageantry. Am I saying that right?
Mm-hmm.
Pageantry surrounding,
Yes.
the drag queen industry, community.
Yes.
I mean, it's a big, big business. Could you, for folks that don't know anything about the pageants or the contests or anything, could you list maybe a couple that folks could look to if they wanted to maybe attend?
Well, you have the Miss Gay DC pageant that have here in DC. You have Miss Black National pageant is here in DC, which I am the first one ever crowned Miss Black National here in DC under the Teresa Beavis organization. Then I also I have 18 titles under my belt of crowns I've won of doing pageants. And
18.
Yes.
List a few. List a few. We have time.
I'm
List a few.
Miss DuPont Circle. I was Miss Northwest, Miss Black National. I was Miss Fire Island. I was Entertainer of the Year.
Oh my goodness. So
I
what
can't
was
think
the
of
first one? What was the one? Because
the first one I won was Miss Magic. That was my very first title in 1989.
and what even
1998. I'm sorry.
what made you want to even pursue that title?
After seeing how much money I could make for putting on a dress and heels for 4 minutes.
Again, you see how all of these questions are regressing back to, well, because I clearly am very good at it.
Yes.
And that's a business thing,
And
isn't
it's
it?
a lot of money to be
Yeah.
made in drag, and more especially now, people are like the RuPaul Drag Race girls. They only perform, or they're only booked if they're making 15 to 2,000 to 3,000. Like Bianca Del Rio, she makes almost 7,000 grand that like a major entertainer would get. And so when you tell people they want you to do birthday parties and stuff like that, there's like you tell them, well, our base pay is $250 and it's $50 per song. They're like, oh, is that much? Well, go book a RuPaul Drag Race girl and see how much money you have to pay.
Right.
And what I tell them, their talent is no different from nobody else's.
Uh-huh.
And once you've seen one drag queen, you've seen them all. But the entertainment level and stuff like that, the creativity.
Well, that's not
what-
true, because once you've seen Shaquita Lee, you don't want to see any more. That's the way that looks. Look at Shaquita when she was trying out for RuPaul's Drag Race. Check out this clip. Do you have that video? Check this out. This is what it looks like. When you've really committed and you've decided to really be authentically you. How far you can go with it, in my opinion. Check out this video.
Hey guys, here we go. RuPaul's Drag Race. I'm Jerry Van Hook, aka Shaquita Lee. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this video of me, the diva of town. A little bit about myself. I've been doing drag now for 13 years here in the Washington, D.C. area. I got my start playing with a softball team, which is called NAGA. It's a gay softball league here in Washington, D.C. I used to play for a softball team called JR Gamecocks. And they have a pageant every year, which is Camp Drag. So I did it, and I won. Go figure. So after that, I thought about, doing drag, and you can get that much money by putting on nails, heels, and a wig and a dress for 4 or 5 minutes. Oh, I can do this.
goodness gracious. I mean, it's acting, it's beauty, it's makeup, it's art, it's dance, it's music.
It's entertainment.
It's entertainment. It's entertainment. And speaking of entertainment, first of all, happy birthday a little ahead of time.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Shaquita is turning 23, and
I'm
she
turning 53. I'm not ashamed of my age.
Well, you'd never know it. Tell him a little bit about. You have a lot of. I asked Shaquita. I was like, "Yo, so what do you have coming up?" And she went into like 84 different things. So why don't you go through the list?
Okay.
The priority list of the next at least couple weeks or couple months.
Okay, well, you can catch me. I'm at Nelly's Drag Brunch every Saturday and Sunday morning, 10:30 and 1 o'clock showtime. Go to eventbrite.com to purchase tickets. You can also catch me at Town Dance Boutique on 8th and U Street Northwest every Friday and Saturday night. Showtime at 10:30. Get there early. It's an hour show. Also, you can catch me coming up November the 10th. I will be in White Plains, Maryland at Martini's Restaurant Bar and Lounge for a dinner show. On Saturday night, we'll be in Winchester, Virginia at the Bright Box Theater. 2 shows, 7 o'clock and 10 o'clock. Then next Sunday, the 12th, I'll be celebrating my 53rd birthday. It's an orange party. It will be a fundraiser for Casa Ruby. All the proceeds from the door will go to Casa Ruby to keep the gas, lights, and electricity on in the hypothermia bed shelter for the winter months. Also coming up December the 3rd, 10th, and 17th. You guys always told me that you should do your own thing, get your own venue. So I'm doing a pop-up shop at the Chateau Remix. It's on 3439 Benning Road. Tickets are $30 for regular seating and $45 for VIP seating. It comes with dinner and a show. Come check it out. And I think that wraps it up for the 2017 year.
It's too bad you don't have anything going on.
Oh, yes, I do. I have something else going on. I'm working on a new single, which I recorded right here in Listen Vision Studios a couple weeks ago.
Oh, that's right.
And I had to put it on hold because the transgender woman who wrote the song for the music, she passed away on last Monday. So shout out to Miss Daisha Dotson. Prayers with you. You have your wings. Hope you rest in peace in heaven.
Will you be releasing that song
Yes,
in honor of...
I will release it in honor of her, and hopefully, and Christopher is my producer right now, so he's working on rearranging the song to get it ready for me.
Look at that. Listen Vision. A part of the legendary Shaquita
And the name
Lee.
of the song is going to be When I Walk.
When I Walk. Well,
Yeah.
you can look for that and definitely support that because not only is it a good cause, but, you know, music to me is such a gap bridger. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that you do music and you make music and the fact that RuPaul, you know, got into it making music, I think it's a really special part of the industry. We're about to close up here.
Yeah, but you can also go to iTunes. I have 4 singles on iTunes. Go check it out. My Name is Love. I Ain't Saying No Tonight. And I Love You.
And you just search SHI.
-QUEETA-LEE.
You heard it here first. District Spotlight with the one and only, the number one drag queen in the DMV, Shaquita Lee. Thank you so much for being
Thank you
with
so much
us.
for having me. Thanks for waiting for me.
Oh, man, whatever. We're happy to have you anytime, actually, because you're going to be recording shortly. And coming up next, we have Performance Fridays, formerly Freestyle Fridays. Now it's Performance Fridays, because whether or not, you know, you want to do magic tricks, clog dance, or just freestyle battle rap, you can come on down 6 to 8 every single Friday and take part for free. And whoever is the best, we will give 2 hours of free recording time, too.
Oh, hell, let me do it.
No one's stopping you. No one's stopping you. Anyways, stay tuned for that next. And then after that, at 8 o'clock, we have a brand new show called Physician for the People with Dr. Ballas, a chiropractor and alternative medicine physician who's going to be teaching you about everything you always wanted to know about your own cannabinoid system and a million other things and ways to stay healthy. And then, of course, Scrogging with the Scrogger every Friday at 9. Shaquita, will you come back and be my guest one day?
Sure.
Thank you so much.
When I have something else not going on.
Right. My goodness. Also the busiest drag queen in the business. Anyways, I'm Jeremy Beaver. This is District Spotlight every Friday at 5. Stay tuned for Performance Fridays up next. And have a great weekend.